Welcome to the Bitcoin in Africa show. From Dakar to Dar es Salaam, from Cairo to Cape Town, we are the voice of Bitcoin in Africa.
Hey everyone, this is Charlene Fadirepo, host and creator of the Bitcoin in Africa show. We are here at Bitcoin 2023. We're going to take you all around the Expo. You're going to see Bitcoin mining, you're going to see Bitcoin art, you're going to see all the major Bitcoin infrastructure and finance brands. Again, this is a conference that everybody who's anybody in Bitcoin is at. All right, so now we have made it to the Bitcoin Bazaar. This is a peer-to-peer marketplace. We're gonna walk you through. This is where you can buy anything and everything using Satoshis. Let's go. Bitcoin art space. So this idea of art in Bitcoin is something that's pretty controversial, but what you'll see is that there's some incredible, gorgeous art pieces that are here, some really talented artists that are selling their wares for Bitcoin, or they've incorporated Bitcoin into their art. So let's take a look. Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it works great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Can I tell you about our art?
Please.
Oh, right. So we call this the essence of Bitcoin. Just like Bitcoin needs energy to be created, so does our art.
Love it.
12,000 volts of electricity to burn those lightning channels.
I love it.
And just like Bitcoin works 24/7, so does our art. It's going to glow in the dark all night long.
Look at that. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. And then you see Bitcoin here is emerging, hard as diamonds.
Oh, you got that.
Other ones are on the moon. Like you see this one on the moon.
Yeah. So now we're going to take you through the Bitcoin art gallery. What's really cool about this art gallery is you can buy some of these pieces of Bitcoin, and then some of them have cool motion features. Let's go. So this one is really significant because this is actually the newspaper clipping that started it all. So if you look at the Satoshi white paper, the headline, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks, that headline is actually an Easter egg in the original Bitcoin code. So whenever you see Bitcoin art, you usually see a lot of people refer to this headline. This headline was January 3rd, 2009. And of course, many people believe that the financial crisis that we had in 2008 was one of the huge catalysts for the creation of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin ordinals, really quickly, can't really talk about 2023 in Bitcoin without talking about ordinals. Of course, Bitcoin ordinals are essentially Bitcoin NFTs. This is something that's pretty controversial in the Bitcoin space because these ordinals were taking up block space and making the transaction fees on the main chain more expensive. You might be asking, okay, what does that matter? How does that relate? Well, of course, it's the Bitcoin in Africa show. And so what happened is that we had this influx of high volume transactions from Bitcoin ordinals, which are basically pieces of artwork on the Bitcoin blockchain that actually made the Bitcoin transactions more expensive for the everyday African. So lots of controversy with this idea of ordinals, but this will give you a sense of, when you say the word ordinals, what are we actually talking about? Well, we're talking about artwork on the Bitcoin blockchain. And actually artwork was usually reserved to other blockchains, like the Ethereum blockchain. So for the global south, not sure Bitcoin ordinals are the best thing, but it's just something that we have to continue to be aware of and to focus on. Hey guys, I'm here with Alex Lee, who is the program director of the Bitcoin Development Fund. That is a part of the Human Rights Foundation. Now, before we hear from Alex, I just have to say thank you so much to the Human Rights Foundation. They gave the Bitcoin and Africa show a super generous grant, and it's allowing us to be here today to show you the amazing things that are happening at the Bitcoin 2023 conference. All right, so Alex, tell me about the Bitcoin Development Fund.
Yeah, so the Bitcoin Development Fund was launched in June 2020, and our mission and goal was to support developers and educators who are making the Bitcoin network more private, decentralized, and usable. Because Bitcoin is a very powerful tool, but if it's hard to use or if you don't know how to use it, it can't be effective. So we launched the fund to support developers and educators who are building those essential tools, making those podcasts, articles, great shows like yours that can educate people about Bitcoin and make it easier to use.
Can you talk about some of the countries that you're supporting developers in?
Right, so we've supported developers from all across the world. So obviously, we've supported developers in the United States and Europe, but we've also supported educators and developers in places like Burma or Argentina, Lebanon. I'm just blanking right now, but so many places all around the world. We support educators in Afghanistan, for example. Roya Mahboub was doing amazing work in Afghanistan, educating girls, and Venezuela. Yeah.
I think what's special about the Human Rights Foundation is that they have this idea that freedom, democracy, and just supporting the everyday person, that's the narrative of Bitcoin that needs to be shared. And so we thank you for the amazing work that you're doing. And I understand you have a big conference coming up in Oslo. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so we have this thing called the Oslo Freedom Forum. So think of it like the World Economic Forum, but instead of sleazy politicians and a bunch of less than ideal human beings, to put it politely, attending that conference.
Yeah.
The Oslo Freedom Forum is the World Economic Forum, but replacing all those sleazy people with human rights activists and people who actually care about freedom and liberty. And it's happening June 13th to June 15th in Oslo, Norway. You can learn more at oslofreedomforum.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alex.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Charlene. Pleasure.
Hey guys, I'm here with Jacques Alexander, right here at Bitcoin 2023. Jacques, thank you for talking to us today.
You're welcome. I'm happy to express my opinions.
So tell us who you are and where you're from.
Actually, I'm Jacques Alexander, born in Haiti, but I grew up in the States, and my background is IT.
Oh.
So I'm focusing on, in an exchange project, Bitcoin exchange. So I'm here to learn and figure out what I want to do.
Got it. So guys, Jacques is here, came to the Miami Bitcoin conference to learn about how to start a Bitcoin exchange. So how did you learn about the conference?
Well, with a lot of publicity with the Chamber of Commerce, Greater Miami, Convention and Visitors Bureau, Miami Beach. So they pushed the agenda. So
Awesome.
I felt obligated to come and actually learn what's going on here, and so I could launch my future endeavors.
Yeah. What's been the most exciting thing that you've seen, heard, or learned about?
I'm getting a lot of information, a lot of exchange of ideas.
Nice.
Downloading, exchanging opinions. I'm getting a lot of that, and that is very, very valuable.
Awesome. Well, Thank you so much for talking to us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you so much.
Hey guys, I'm here with George Mekhail. Now, George, tell us about the Bitcoin Games.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we're trying to do this year was highlight what's happening in Bitcoin communities around the world. So we're putting on a tournament between meetups that gather every week, sometimes every month, in different parts of the globe, really. And so we have 24 different teams that are competing in the Bitcoin Games. The winner takes home a full Bitcoin.
Wow.
And the idea is that they would use that Bitcoin to go invest in their communities and further support their efforts.
Got it. And we didn't mention this, but George is actually the head of community for Bitcoin Magazine. Really, really important. Now tell us about the chess tournament. How many people have played so far?
So we got about 200 players for the entire tournament. Probably about 100 have gone through so far. And we got our custom chess pieces sponsored by our friends at Fold. Amazing app. They've been incredible. They've been giving away prizes. They've been giving away sats. So we've been having a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thanks so much for talking to us today. And We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's Charlene Fadirepo. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bitcoin in Africa show. Thank you so much for watching or listening. There are a number of ways you can stay connected to our show. First, check us out on YouTube at Bitcoin in Africa Show, or you can follow us on Twitter at Bitcoin Niger Show. Last but not least, sign up for our newsletter at bitcoininafricashow.com.